What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Black Financial Podcast. I am your host, Lawrence Watkins. I am the President and Chief Operating Officer of the Black Business School. And today we have a very special guest. We're here with Devon Truvel. And Devon is the CEO of Play Black Wall Street and the creator of the Black Wall Street board game. And the Black Wall Street board game is a fun way of talking or taking the history, legacy, and values of Tulsa's Black Wall Street and putting it into a family fun game. And today he's going to talk all about how he created it. And Devon, how are you doing today?
I am blessed and highly favored this morning, this afternoon, Lawrence. I appreciate the opportunity, invitation, and that Academy Award winning intro you just gave me too.
I don't know about all of that, but I mean, we start off the interview with the same question all the time. Tell us a little bit more about your company, Play Black Wall Street, and your specific board game, and how you got into this point in your career of actually using this, or I guess running this company.
All right, but by trade, I'm an educator. I've been in the education system since 2012, really trying to figure out how can we get more Black minds, Black bodies, just to value education and to see that as one of the ways of freedom or social mobility. In my time as an educator, something that's always come up is financial literacy, whether it's financial literacy through loans, financial literacy through, being able to buy a house, being able to, start your own businesses. So financial literacy has always been kind of a part of my work. But in 2017, I had the opportunity to do a summer camp with some students, and nobody knew what Black Wall Street was. Literally, none of the camp coordinators knew, none of the young scholars in middle school and high school knew about it. So this was really something that I took to my queen, my wife, my better half. And I was like, hey, queen, how do you think about putting a game together to teach people about Black Wall Street, but also to try to increase financial literacy? And she was like, that probably exists already. There's no way that's a new idea. And, unfortunately, when I was doing the searches, I saw like some Black Monopoly versions that were completely terrible. They were about, baby mama drama. They were about people going to jail. They were about drugs. And I was like, oh, no. We need to create a game ASAP that's more about Black excellence and the history of Tulsa, Oklahoma. So that's when, in about 2018, we launched, Black Wall Street, the board game, again, to take the true history of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and be able to put it inside of a game for students to see. We have a timeline on our back that shows students kind of the full process of how Black Wall Street was created. We have real Black Wall Street businesses on the board for students to be able to either use or own themselves as entrepreneurs. And it's been a incredible journey so far from 2017 to 2020. Even though 2020, is an interesting year, it's been, it's a good marathon so far.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. Now, were these students, I guess, Black students that were in your summer camp, or like a mix of students? Like, who was in the summer camp?
Great question. So we partnered with the Village Nation out here in Los Angeles, California. And the Village Nation, they're taking some foster youth, some Black and brown students, low income students from urban communities. And what we do is we go to Big Bear Camp. There's no Wi-Fi, no cell phone service. There's no escape. It's just us, the students, talking about Black empowerment, talking about Black identity and financial literacy. So most of them were middle school students and high school students, Black, African diaspora, and even some who are, Latino or Latinx. But regardless of identity, none of these young scholars knew about Tulsa Black Wall Street. Obviously, it's not taught in schools, and we need to figure out, okay, if it's not going to be taught in the schools, how can we as a community kind of take power over it, take control over it, and try to teach it ourselves?
What did you think when none of the students knew, or the other camp instructors knew about Black Wall Street? What was going through your mind at that particular moment in time?
I don't want to say I judge folks, okay? I don't want to say I judge folks. Initially, I was like, dang, how does nobody know? But then when I even thought back to my own education, I didn't learn about Black Wall Street until college, until I went off to college, until I took my first African American Studies course. Then it was finally introduced to me. And honestly, even then, it was just like a little sprinkle. It was like there was a community. it got bombed and destroyed, but we didn't actually learn about the values, the lessons, the fact that the Black dollar stayed in our community for almost an entire year back then. None of that small stuff was introduced. So I really felt like it was kind of a responsibility of me. It was a responsibility on my shoulders now that I had this information and I knew they wanted the information. It was up to me to figure out, how can I make it fun for them to get this info? How can I make it fun for families to be able to learn about Black Wall Street and just money, period?
Let's talk about that in terms of the how of the game. So how does the game work? And then after that, I want to get into your mind a little bit, because it's one thing to have an idea saying that I want to create a board game around Black history or Black Wall Street, that type of thing. And it's another thing to actually do it. So I want to talk about from, I guess, idea and conception to actual execution and having a physical product, what that actually look like. But before we do that, please tell me, what does the game look like and what can people expect by playing this game?
I got you. Do you want to see? Sometimes I'm embarrassed to show this, but do you want to see the MVP, our first
Yes,
game
please
that
show
we
me.
do?
Please show me the minimum viable product of your MVP of
Okay.
when you got it.
Don't judge me, and everyone watching, listening, please don't judge me. All right, this was the MVP. I got the idea. I went back home, and I just whatever I could find made it real. So this is our first MVP. And if you're listening on the podcast, you can't see it. This is a cardboard box. All right, typical. We cut it out with some scissors. I took markers and I drew, measured, put where all the businesses I think should go. I put there should be a logo somewhere right here. We took thumbtacks and we moved around the board with thumbtacks. We created cards out of a presentation, like a PowerPoint presentation, random draw cards. So we just started. We were like, can we really do this? Can we take what's in this head right here and can we put it into the physical universe, put it into the physical world? So from there, I partnered with my friend Markel, founder of the Rare X brand, dope graphic artist. And he was really able to take the minimum viable product to the extreme different level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's so important to collaborate. It's so important to have an important or a powerful network around you with different skills and superpowers, because I would have never been able to create this beauty by myself. And again, if you're only listening, the board is now nice and glossy. We do have the logo in the middle like before. We have icons and emblems representing the different business markets when you land on them. And something cool that came from our community is during the first edition of the game, there were no icons on here, but there's a family that reached out to us and they said, our family's actually colorblind. So we can't tell the difference between any of these businesses. What can you do for us? And we were like, we never thought about that because that's not a ability that we struggle with. So what we did was we created icons. So now it doesn't matter if you can see color or not, you can see the icons and you can see the difference. Now how the game works is you roll your dice, and it's because the mechanics will seem pretty comfortable or pretty familiar to folks. You roll the dice and you land on a business. So let's say you land on Madam CJ Walker Beauty Salon. You now have the opportunity to either use Madam CJ Walker Beauty Salon, get your hair did, get a taper, get your beard trimmed up, whatever you got to do for like $20. Or you have the opportunity to own Madam CJ Walker Beauty Salon for $120. So when the next person lands on it, they now pay you that $20 for use. You also have the opportunity to invest in your businesses. So you can invest in Madam CJ Walker Beauty Salon and make it from a sole proprietor to an LLC, limited liability company. And then if you own the entire hair market, if you own all the beauty salons, all the barbershops, you now can create a corporation. So when people land on you, they owe you even more money. So that's kind of the basic premise of it. Something else that we added were venture cards. And I'm sure you know about like venture capital, but for other folks, like if you're trying to create an idea, sometimes you want to reach out to venture consultants or venture capitalists to get money to fund your idea. And if you achieve your goal, you get money. So that's kind of what we're trying to plant the seeds of in this game. There's venture cards, and the venture card may say, you have to own Madam CJ Walker Beauty Salon. This is your secret venture or your secret mission that no one else knows you want to do. If you buy this business, we give you venture capital. So if you are able to buy it, maybe we'll give you $400 from the bank. So it starts to already plant that seed for the players. Like, okay, if I achieve my goals, I will be rewarded. If I'm able to be strategic and do certain things, I will be rewarded somehow. So that's the basic gist of the game.
Yeah, and how does one win the game? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so you win by being the last entrepreneur standing, right? So you
Mhm.
build your empire, you build your LLCs, your corporations, you manage your money correctly, and if you're the last person with the funds, then you win. And believe it or not, the game can go like the first few times you play, it will go by really fast because I don't think people realize the money management piece. They're just buying everything, or they're not buying anything. They're just using everything, and they run out of money pretty quickly. But there is a strategy that I don't know if I want to reveal here because then everyone
No,
gets
no, no. We have you have to package the strategy guide later on, so we don't want to reveal the strategy now.
yeah,
I think that's
smart.
very interesting. I think that it's taking like games like Monopoly to a new level, right? In terms of like the venture cards and are you a consumer on this property? Or are you an investor of this particular property? That type of thing as well.
Exactly.
So I think this is I think this is really awesome. One thing that I actually like to see maybe in the next version of the game
Hmm.
is because the thing about Monopoly is that there's the winners and losers, right? And then maybe with this game, there can still be winners, but people winning at different types of levels. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. That's just a random thought that I was having in terms of like Black people and us being more communal. We want the entire community to win. And what does that actually look like as the outcome of a game and like the overall message that we'll be sending as well. But I
Right.
love this
And I
game. I love
think
the competition. I love playing
so.
boys in these types of games too. We
Right.
he talks a lot of stuff, so we team up on him. But
Love it. So some live brainstorming here based on that idea, and I love being able to live brainstorm. So a communal aspect that could happen is maybe there's community milestones that you can reach or badge that you can reach. So let's say once a market is owned by one of each player, you got the diversified portfolio community badge that everyone gets. Maybe everyone gets that venture capital. Maybe
Mhm.
once someone loans someone else some money, then you have the cooperative economics badge that everyone gets funds or everyone gets a certain extra turn or extra business. So I think that would be an interesting model or a different addition, the cooperative economics edition, to where you're really trying
Yeah,
to work
yeah, 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 yeah,
together.
yeah. I love it. I love it. And I could do this all day, but I'm not just for the sake of the viewer out there. Everyone, I'm here with excuse me, I want to call you by your name, Devon Truvel. Excuse me, I apologize. CEO of Black Wall Street and the creator of the Black Wall Street board game. It is a fun way of taking the history, legacy, and values of Tulsa's Black Wall Street and putting it into a family fun game. His URL is www.playblackwallstreet.com. That is playblackwallstreet.com. And we're talking about how he went about actually, creating this actual game. And if you all like this video, please go ahead and press the thumbs up button. Please share this link with other people who may be interested, and also subscribe to the Black Financial channel if you'd like to receive more financial content like the content that we're producing today here with Devon. All right, Devon, let's talk about emotions a little
Okay.
bit in terms of the emotional feeling and the things that you want people to take from, I guess, playing this game as a family. You kind of talk about it, but I want you to kind of explain it a little bit deeper in your own words in terms of
Yeah,
what do
I
you want people to
love
actually feel?
I love that because I've done a few interviews in my day, and no one ever asks about the emotions. I do find that an interesting question, but a very impactful question. So the emotions that I want them to feel taken away, and this game will take you through a little bit of an emotional roller coaster because it is based on real history. And if you know how Tulsa, Oklahoma was ended, that is incorporated in the game. So you will see some ups and downs as far as emotion, but at the end of the day, the emotion that we want y'all to take away is empowerment. We want y'all to understand that this is the true history of what our people were able to do before the internet, before social media, before YouTube Live. Our community, our ancestors were able to build a city, a neighborhood that was fully functional by itself. And there's nothing stopping us today from being able to do the exact same stuff that they did almost 100 years ago. So the true emotion that we really want them to take away is we want y'all to feel empowered as a Black family to own something and to really be an active participant in the Black economy.
Do you have any? I know you have a wife. Do you have any children as well?
we have no beautiful, amazing children in this physical planet yet, but we talk about them all the time. We think about them all the time. So yeah, we can't wait. They're definitely gonna come. But right now, it's just me and the queen holding it down. Future to come.
Yeah, so the reason I was asking that question had more to do in terms of how, when you were growing up, well, a couple questions. When you were growing up, how was financial literacy talked about in your household, if at all? And then, what are you doing now that you're married and setting that foundation for, your family? What are you doing currently to, I guess, take implementing what you're teaching in the board game into your actual household as well?
Great question. So growing up, it wasn't talked about too often. So yeah, to be honest, it wasn't talked about in my household too often. My parents now talk about it with my little siblings. I still have, little siblings who are inside the house in high school. So we're having them invest in stocks, having them be in Play Black Wall Street Academy to learn how to start businesses. So they're definitely engaged with that talk. But for me, I grew up really trying to get money for myself. So I was the one that was selling Pokemon cards to get money. I was the one that was in high school selling candy bars and soda cans. And I told you earlier that I was, working for McDonald's in high school, and I actually worked the night shift. So I was working 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. in high school, saving money to be able to pay for college later on. So I think it was always important. My dad definitely taught me, my family taught me it's important as a man to be able to, or as a person, be able to create money and be able to have funds. But and that's the second step of as far as investing, as far as starting a business, as far as buying a house, wasn't really taught to me until afterwards. So and then
And
how
where did you go to college?
I had the privilege and honor of going to UC Davis up in Northern California, near Sacramento, California. That is where I also met the beautiful queen, met the wife freshman year. And yeah, I haven't let go of her since.
Yeah, so you had this entrepreneurial bug in, high school, it seemed like in middle school, selling Pokemon cards and all these other types of things, and this, I guess, work ethic that may have been, I guess, innate to you. So my question is, you became an educator. Why did you choose education over business in terms of like your college major? Or did you? I assume that you did, but why did you go that pathway?
So my educational pathway is a little bit of a up and down route as well. You'll see a trend here. So actually, I went into college as a biomedical engineer, and my wife went into college as a chemical engineer, and she still is a chemical engineer. But for me, I went into biomedical engineering because I had grandparents and I had aunties that were diabetic and they had like their limbs cut off for that reason. And growing up, I was like, I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna build you a leg. I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna be able to help the medical industry. And that's, as a kid, that was always the dream. But then when I went off to college, just being in those engineering classes, UC Davis back at that time didn't have the community that it does now. So I really didn't feel connected to the work that I was doing. And I didn't feel that immediate connection to the community. So I switched my major over to sociology, and that's where I dove more into education and dealing with people. And then to get a little transparent, not too personal, but my cousin did pass away in 2011. Um, so that was something that definitely impacted me. Older cousin, 1 year older, Jayon, shout out and rest in peace. But the gang violence and the gun shootings and the people that go through that aren't given the opportunity to go to college. So I wanted to go into education. I wanted to go into outreach to be able to reach middle school students, be able to reach high school students who have obviously the intelligence, who have the potential of going to college or starting their own businesses, but sometimes they just need a little bit extra push or they need the resources to get to college. So that was the real like push into education and then later on into business as a kind of parallel or secondary way of creating freedom and opportunities for our community.
Now, with this board game, are you doing it full time, or do you still have your career as an educator as well? I guess you're still educating, but just in a different type of way. But do you have your
Right.
traditional career as an educator still, or is this a full time thing that you're doing with the board game?
I do still have the traditional, I'm planning out my retirement as we speak, but as of today, 2020, I'm still working full time for my education, and I'm also still basically working full time for Play Black Wall Street, doing courses, doing the games, and trying to create partnerships. So we're burning it at both ends right now, but definitely have a vision of being full time entrepreneur in the near future.
Well, tell me about that a little bit more in terms of, what does your life look like? Because there are a lot of people who want to have that side hustle or that second hustle, or the second thing that they're doing until they can make it their main thing.
Right.
So talk to me in terms of how that looks like in your life, and then talk to me about the, I guess, different support structures that you have, like your wife and the rest of your family, and how have they reacted to this idea of you becoming an entrepreneur with this board game?
Right. Great question. So it initially started off, and this was back in the day, 2016, 2017, we're really getting off the ground. And this is before me and my wife got married. So at this point, we were dating. I was living in Riverside. She was living in Oakland, California. So it was a little bit easier to get off the ground because we were in separate places. I would work my 9 to 5, and as soon as I got home from 5:30 to 11, I was grinding. Right, I was working on the Facebook community. I was working on what is the business structure of Play Black Wall Street going to be. Working with the designer. I was only eating oatmeal. Like it was a very interesting, like grind specific time for like 5 months, and really trying to get it out there. Once me and the queen were able to get engaged, shout out, she said yes. I was very nervous. I was more nervous about asking her to marry me than starting the business, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, yeah. Uh-huh.
but once she said yes, then we were able to move in together because our parents are a little bit old school. So we were able to move in together after we were officially engaged, and that's when a lot of the partnership began. So she had her 9 to 5, I had my 9 to 5. We would come home and strategize, grind it out, do videos like this, talking about the game to other people or putting it on our own YouTube channel. And yeah, it's been a grind. And our weekends is really now where we do a lot of stuff as well. We'll fly out. Before COVID, we used to fly out to different places and do in-person workshops and go to expos and present the game. The Queen has been a phenomenal support system because you can maybe see I'm a talkative person. I'm a creative mind. She's the engineer. She's the analytical person, the logistics person. So she really helps transform the ideas that we have into like physical things, into actual systems that we can do. So it's been a complete blessing and honor to be able to have someone like that as a life partner and a business partner to really complement what I do. And then one last point is the slight barrier has been trying to find that true balance of 9 to 5 entrepreneur and be a good husband. Because we want to grind, I have meetings sometimes until 7, 8, 9 p.m. and really making sure that on the weekends or at least on specific days, I leave time to like no business right now. This is me and the queen. We're going to do date night. We're going to paint. We're going to do whatever it is that we'll pour back into each of our cups. So that's been something that I'm trying to get better at, but we're consistently growing on as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's all about growth, and just because you mentioned it too, just shout out your YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel that people can follow you on YouTube at?
Oh, appreciate it. So our mother company is True Health and then the number four ever. So True Health Forever, you search that in YouTube and you can please subscribe to our channel. Our Play Black Wall Street stuff is on that channel. The Queen has health and free cardio hip hop classes that we teach on there, as well as our podcast videos are all on the True Health, the number four ever on YouTube.
All right, make sure you follow the brother, playblackwallstreet.com as well, True Health Forever on YouTube, and follow his wife too. Sounds like she's doing some amazing things as
Oh
well
yeah.
as it relates to the world of entrepreneurship. The next couple questions, I want to know your current state and your future state in terms of where you are currently and where you want to go. So
Let's
current
do it.
state, current state. Yeah, if you feel like you can share this, how many games are you moving a month? What would you like to see happen? And then also, what is, I guess, your big vision for what you're building with Play Black Wall Street?
All right, let's do it. So current state 2020, we are now on our second edition of the game, and we are going to be selling about 100, 120 per month since the start of 2020. So it's been a pretty consistent growth, especially from 2017 when we first got started. The vision for the future and things that we're kind of working on right now. We are working on the newest edition of the game. Not going to drop anything right now, but it is going to be beautiful. Please understand this next one is going to be a work of art. So this it's gonna drop in 2021, June in the kind of remembrance of the 100-year anniversary of the bombing of Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921. So that's when the new edition will drop. We're also looking to do a more gamers edition. There is a pretty large gaming community out there, and they want a little bit more sophisticated mechanics. They want it to be a little bit more complicated. So we're still going to definitely keep our family version for the kids and for the family to kind of play together. But then we're also thinking about doing a more complicated gamers edition for those enthusiasts out there. And then we did launch our online Play Black Wall Street Academy this year in response to COVID. And we've gotten amazing love and support. Both cohorts that we've done so far have sold out. We're looking to do another cohort in October. This is a 5-week program where students from beginning to end come up with an idea that they think can be a problem-solving agent in their communities. And then by the end of the 5 weeks, we help them craft out that vision, write a business statement, and then at the end, they present their vision statement of their business idea to our cohort. So it's so cute seeing, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, and even 18-year-olds just really come with it and come prepared to solve problems, come prepared like I'm the CEO of XYZ, and their ideas are really cool and outside the box. So that's been a blessing. We hope to continue to grow that in the future. And starting 2021, we got some creative ideas that we're going to try to do with the Play Black Wall Street Academy.
Yeah, that's interesting. I can see you doing some type of competition, right? For you already thought about it, yeah, and then incorporate them into your game, yeah, your future game or something, like a special edition, the special edition of Play Black Wall Street, and they have their own little store. The winner of the game has their own little store in your actual board game. But anyway, I guess that's already been in your mind, but I think that would be dope to actually see.
Fire.
All right, everyone, go ahead. Yeah.
So
I'm here with Yeah, I'm good. We're very happy to see your energy. I'm here with Devon Truvel. Devon is the CEO of Play Black Wall Street and the creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, a fun way of taking the history, legacy, and values of Tulsa's Black Wall Street and putting it into a family fun game. You can find out more about his company and buy the game, y'all. Buy this game. Christmas is coming up. Buy this game. It doesn't have to be Christmas. Just buy it, and buy it and play with your family. The URL is www.playblackwallstreet.com. That's playblackwallstreet.com. And we're talking about Devon's journey as an entrepreneur and as a man who is under, I guess, continuous growth as well. If you like this video, please press the thumbs up button. Please share and also subscribe to the Black Financial channel if you would like to receive more content like the content that we've been producing today here with Devon. All right, Devon, so in this last segment, tell the audience, you already mentioned your YouTube channel. Where else can they find you on social media and the web in general?
All right, so he's been shouting out all throughout, so y'all know the website, playblackwallstreet.com, all spelled normal. Hit us up, playblackwallstreet.com. We will create a special code for anyone who's listening and they want to go ahead and purchase the game. You can go ahead and put the code Black Power into it, because I know y'all are about power. I know y'all about the community. So you can go ahead and put Black Power, all spelled regular, inside the discount code, and we'll give you 15% off. Go ahead and do that.
Oh, man. All right. Well, a few people already bought the game. If they want that code, you're going to help them. You're going to help them get it. They already bought it.
They already bought it. I will work with y'all.
All right.
I'll go to the computer right now. Anyone who's purchased after 12 p.m. California time, I will work with y'all. But for the future folks, go ahead and put the Black Power in there and it'll go in automatically. All right, so perfect. You can find us on Instagram. It's Play Black Wall ST Street, not the full street, just ST. So again, on Instagram, it's Play Black Wall ST. And then again, our YouTube channel is True Health, the number 4 ever. We post a lot of content on there, empowerment content, financial content, health content, all within that one umbrella. So yeah, we would love the support, love to build community with you. And if y'all have ideas for future editions of the game, as Brother Lawrence has, today, definitely hit us up. We are open to getting customer feedback and support so we can make the game better for you all.
All right. Well, at the end of the interview, we do our famous 5. These are 5 rapid fire questions, and I would like you to answer them with, whatever comes to your mind. You ready to go?
Let's do it.
Number 1, what is your favorite business book of all time?
Powernomics.
Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. So shout out to Dr. Anderson.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we include that in our academy. All of our students read sections of Powernomics.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. That's a great book to actually read as a community. Number two, are there any CEOs or companies that you're currently following that you know may want to emulate as a part of building your business?
Great question. So we get motivation from Robert Smith with Vista, and we also look to the past of Nipsey Hussle. So he's not here with us right now, but we love the community building aspect of what Nipsey Hussle did, what the incubator programs, the ownership of various market sectors. So love what both of those folks are doing.
Number three, who is your favorite historical figure from Black history?
That's a good one. So the first one that came to mind is Mansa Musa. I love the royalty, love the fact that he was able to, affect the economics of Cairo when he visited with all of his gold. Love the fact that he built cities and really unified the empire of Mali. So I'm gonna go with Mansa Musa.
Okay, I didn't know if you're gonna say Bob Marley back there with your photo or
He's up
not.
there. Bob's
Okay,
up there. Shout
someone
out
mentioned
to
him actually recently. Yes, so someone actually mentioned Bob Marley recently in an interview as
him.
well. Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get at night?
It's looking like 5 to 6. I need to definitely get better, but it's on average 5 to 6.
All right, on that 5 to 6. All right. And the last question, how old are you?
I'm 27.
All right, 27. So this is not too far back. So if you can go back and give advice to your 20-year-old self, what would you tell him?
Oh, 20-year-old self, I was still in college. So I would say start a business. I didn't start the business until after I graduated. I was like 23, 24. So I would have started some type of business, whether it's Truvel Forever, Play Black Wall Street, something when I was 20, when I was in college. I had my community around me. I didn't have crazy bills. I could have been almost full-time in it. I would have started a business at 20.
Wonderful. I think that's a great answer. Started a business at age 20. I was 22, I think, when I became an entrepreneur. So,
Mm,
yeah, the younger the better is my opinion on that as well. So,
right.
Devon, thank you so much for your time. Everyone, we've been here with Devon Truvel. He is the CEO of Play Black Wall Street and the creator of the Black Wall Street, the board game, a fun way of taking the history, legacy, and values of Tulsa's Black Wall Street and putting it into a family fun game. You can find out more at playblackwallstreet.com. That's playblackwallstreet.com. So before you get out of here today, please make sure you press the thumbs up button. Actually, as a matter of fact, on the count of three, he's been such an awesome brother and awesome guest to have and so much of inspiration. Just press the thumbs up button for us. So 1, 2, 3, press that thumbs up button. The more people that do that, the more that YouTube's algorithm will prioritize this video in their algorithm as well. So please make sure you do that. Please make sure you share and subscribe to the Black Financial channel if you would like to receive more financial content like the content that we produce today here with Devon. So on behalf of Devon Truvel, my name is Lawrence Watkins. You all take care, be blessed, and have a wonderful day. All right, bye-bye.